We are building a 64-acre conservation area right smack dab in the middle of 6.2 million people. That is absolutely remarkable.
Hi, I'm Mark Hendry. I'm a Restoration Monitoring Coordinator with Credit Valley Conservation. Today here we're looking at the Applewood Wetland within the Tovey Lakeview Conservation Area. The design and creation of this wetland has been influenced largely by the environmental assessment as well as requirements through the federal authorization. We've got a variety of different habitats here that are pretty unique. We're situated right near Lake Ontario, so we've got the influence of both the lake for its water levels as well as the variety of species that live in the surrounding area. What's unique about this area is we have the ability to kind of shape and grade the land and kind of manipulate the landscape that's going to work well and benefit a lot of the wildlife that use it. This is one of 3 wetlands on the project, and now we're going to go to the Searson East Wetland. A large component of the designs stemmed from the environmental assessment and the federal authorization requirements to integrate particular habitat features into these wetlands. It included particular features like fish overwintering habitat as well as size requirements. This habitat criteria allows for a diverse array of both fish and wildlife, including frogs, turtles, birds, insects, and mammals such as mink. The habitat features constructed within these wetlands are beneficial for a diverse array of fish and wildlife. We've already seen through many of our monitoring activities a lot of different fish species utilizing the streams and wetlands, from cold water to cool water and warm water, utilizing different habitat within some of these features. There's been a lot of woody debris that's been placed within the wetlands that will become fish habitat as the water levels rise. It's often bird habitat or other wildlife. We can see lots of perch poles around the wetlands that you'll get birds sitting on. We're starting to see snakes, birds, fish, and a variety of other wildlife. So we've now made it to the Searson East Wetland, which is kind of the home to our more recent aquatic plantings that we completed in 2019. So here we can see some pretty good establishment of some cattails growing pretty well within our enclosures, and you can also see some of the expansion out of the enclosures as well. Again, we've got lots of down woody debris for lots of habitat features. There was approximately 22,000 aquatic plants planted within this wetland, and approximately 1,000 trees and shrubs for sort of that riparian component to the wetland. In addition to the emergent species, we've also planted some submergent and floating aquatic plants that are kind of scattered all throughout the Searson East Wetland. So we're seeing pretty good establishment, but in some cases we have some gaps to fill, and we've got some crews on site that are doing some infill planting as we speak. We finally made it to the Searson Wetland West, and this was the first wetland created within this construction project. So it's had the most time to naturalize and establish. It was planted with aquatic plants in 2018, and the riparian trees and shrubs were planted the fall prior to that. So as we can see, again, lots of woody habitat structures, rock, lots more green happening around the wetland and up in the meadow area, and lots of wildlife around. Now with the establishment of some features on the site, we've created a well-developed monitoring plan. So some of this is short-term and some of it is long-term monitoring that will continue well into the future. Some of the types of monitoring we're looking at, as you saw this morning, was fish sampling in the creeks, as well as the wetlands and the lake features. We're looking at the geomorphology of the channels. We've got monumented photo stations all around the site. We look at survival assessments of the tree and shrubs, as well as the aquatic plants. We're tracking hydrology of the site, birds, amphibians, the ecological land classification, as well as some visual form and stability monitoring.